Welcome to MOCA, no love bells. Hit that like button, you might break the scale. If you can't join the membership, still ride for free, $99. Yeah, we lit in here. Comments popping, energy rocking, we all shine. We here to stay. We here to stay. Turn it up, we in the South with style and grace. MOCA got 'em talking, can't nobody take a place. Nah, from the bayou to the block, we drop truth, not tea. You ain't gotta pay the vibe, hit that like for free. Every panel on fire, every topic gon' trend. If you ain't a member yet, you still a friend, amen. Got love for the real, was no time for the mess. We keep it authentic, that's no labels at its best. Welcome to MOCA, no love bells. Where the truth ring loud like church bells. Like, comment, subscribe, free 99 if you ride. We don't fake the vibe, we gon' live, we outside. Welcome to MOCA, no love bells. Where the truth ring loud like church bells. Like, comment, subscribe, free 99 if you ride. We don't fake the vibe, we gon' live, we outside. It's MOCA and the crew, we the talk of the streets. Bring the real back to YouTube, no scripts, no beats. We laugh, we drag, we educate too. All the bells in the chat know how we do. So tap in, lean back, sip your drink real slow. Let the haters keep watching, we steal the show. From MOCA to NOLA, we hold it down steady. Platinum plus approved, that girl stay ready. Welcome to MOCA, na na bells. Welcome to MOCA, na na bells. Welcome to MOCA, no love bells. Where the truth ring loud like church bells. Like, comment, subscribe, free 99 if you ride. We don't fake the vibe, we go live, we outside. Welcome to MOCA, no love bells. Where the truth ring loud like church bells. Like, comment, subscribe, free 99 if you ride. We don't fake the vibe, we go live, we outside. From the panel to the people, it's pure real talk. She ain't following a trend, she lead her own walk. No cameras, my mic check with no lights on blast. But every episode hit like first class. We ain't gossiping, we testifying, keep it bold. Every story got a lesson that need to be told. So hit that bell, join the ride in style. Welcome to MOCA, stick around for a while. Welcome to MOCA, no love bells. Where the bells ring, truth in the chat stay lit. Like, comment, subscribe, don't quit. If you can't join the membership, free $99. Still with it. Still with it. We outside. We outside.
Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Sunday and welcome back. I hope each and every one of you have had an awesome evening. It's always a beautiful thing to log in and see all of my beautiful family here waiting for another live stream. For those of you that are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we're family. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. Here at MOCA and the NOLA Bells, there are no big I's, no little U's. Everybody's somebody. All opinions matter and all opinions are to be respected. If you've not yet hit that like button, please tiptoe on up out of here. Ring the doorbell, come on back in. Your seat is still waiting for you. Grab a membership if you can. Share out the live. And most importantly, don't forget those emojis to the side. Tap, tap, tap. Let YouTube know that your girl is here. And she's back with a little more content today. Well, guys, we were out here earlier and we did what we did, and we're back tonight with another one. We're back with another one because Theresa Martin is a piece of work. She's a piece of work. And that lady keeps us all so confused. But before we move on doing what we do, MOCA's going to do what MOCA does. And that is show love to my people. Tay Asia, I see you, my love. Happy Sunday, my beautiful sister Charlotte's Web. Welcome back, sis. Welcome back. Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use. For purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright. Thank you so very much for that, Charlotte's Web. Love selfishly. Welcome, sis. Happy Sunday to you and happy holidays, baby. Anika, my love. Happy Sunday to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My beautiful sister Deidre is up in here. Welcome, my love. Sassy, I see you, boo. I see you. Welcome, welcome back. Miss B, my boo. Hey, girl, how are you? I hope all is well. No nonsense. I see you, boo. Happy Sunday, my love. My beautiful sister Kristen is up in here as always. Welcome, sis, and happy Sunday. Levette, happy Sunday to you. My girl is Rosalind is back. Welcome, baby. Welcome. Welcome. Erica Red, I see you, my love. And welcome, welcome. Cool girl sister. Welcome, sis. It's always a pleasure to welcome each and every one of you here. SC, I see you, boo. Happy Sunday and welcome. Shania, welcome, boo. Happy Sunday to you. Sherry White, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday, my love. Love all and trust none. I hear you. I hear you. Wendy, welcome. Happy Sunday, baby. Happy Sunday. Samantha, I see you, my love. Happy Sunday to you. Shell, baby, welcome, boo. Welcome. Look at my beautiful sister Platt is up in here. Happy Sunday, sis. Cynthia Harmon, welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome. We're back in this thing, guys. Look at Pi. Hey, Pi, welcome. Welcome, Lady D. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Betsy. Welcome back, my love. Welcome back and happy Sunday to you. Hey, Colette. Happy Sunday, my love. Look at my sister, Warrior One. Hey, my love. I miss and love you as well. My sister, Sean B, is up in here. Welcome, my love. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hey, Tina, welcome, boo. I see you, I see you. But guys, we're not going to prolong much longer. We're going to do what we do. Y'all know we're never here for a long time, but we make the best of the time that we do have when we're here. And as I stated before, Theresa is a piece of work. She's a piece of work, and Theresa comes in segments. You have to break her down piece by piece to understand what's going on in Theresa's world, because it's full of complications. And she feels that with her complicated world, she's going to come out here and she's going to complicate America. Well, Theresa, not on our watch, baby. Not on our watch. It's not going to happen. You know, whatever issues you have, Theresa, it's my suggestion that you go get it fixed, baby. Go get it fixed. Because right now, the demons that you are fighting, I don't believe that they're ready to turn you loose. Happy Sunday, Mariah. The demons that you're fighting, they're not ready to turn you loose, Theresa. And only you know Why you're out here swinging with inconsistencies. Kenneka's not resting, and you know she's not. And the reason she's not resting, Theresa, something tells me it has a lot to do with you, your shenanigans. Your shenanigans while she was here. Your shenanigans after her demise. And your shenanigans still this very day. So fix that, Theresa, fix that. And only God could help you on this journey. Because sister, what you got going on is far from natural, far from normal. But anyway, let me get on to doing what I do. Theresa, tonight I got 3 versions of you, ma'am. 3 versions of the same woman talking about the same night, talking about this same baby, the same hotel, and the same kids. Theresa. See, Theresa, you fucked up long time ago, sis. And yet somehow, you done sit up here and gave us 3 different versions of yourself. And the 3 different versions you gave Tina, hey Tina, I see you, boo. The 3 different versions you gave us, Theresa, we don't have the same story, my love. Theresa, we're going to talk about the national Theresa. And when I called her national Theresa, I'm speaking of the Theresa that decided to go and sit down with Nancy Grace. Oh yeah. Theresa thought she was winning. Theresa went and sat down and thought she was going to interview with Nancy Grace. Then we also have the Chicago performance Theresa. Theresa also did an interview with Morning Takeover. So that's 2 Theresas. Then we got the raw Theresa. That raw Theresa, she went and she did an interview with FammTV. I ain't gonna add nothing, Theresa, because baby, you done enough. I'ma just tell the people what you said. And all I could do, Theresa, is let your contradictions speak for themselves. Theresa, you said, hey, Tootie, welcome, my love. Theresa, you sat on Nancy Grace. And you sit there and you pretended you barely knew those girls. You spoke about them as your daughter's friends. And what's so unfortunate, Theresa, what's so unfortunate is instead of addressing them, you kept saying on Nancy Grace, it was they, them, the girls. And not these kids I already know. Because Theresa, from what we know, you knew them. But that was how you had Nancy Grace feeling, right? Theresa, that was a picture you tried to paint of you not knowing these girls. And Theresa, you went right on to the morning, and I'm just going to compare the things that you said to 3 different people in the same breath. And speaking on these girls, you went right on over to Chicago Morning Takeover. And all of a sudden, you knew these girls. Hip hop, hey baby, welcome, welcome. All of a sudden, Theresa on the Chicago Morning Takeover, you knew these girls. You knew their parents. You were very familiar with them. You know who hang with who. You even referenced the dynamics between the friends. On the Chicago Morning Takeover, Theresa, you went as far as speaking on who lied, who misled, and who acted funny. Then here you go to FammTV. You couldn't stand them because they made you stand in your shed. You got there and you knew who everybody was. You knew how they moved. You knew how they were connected to. And you know what was so unfortunate, Theresa? At FammTV, you did that interview like you had been around this very same group, this very same crowd. So Theresa, I have a problem with your affiliation with these children. Because I don't really know these kids. You went from, I don't really know these kids like that to, I know who lied, who misled, who did what, who was where, and what they were about. Now, unless you were downplaying at first on Nancy Grace because you wanted to look like I'm just the mom on the outside. I don't know nothing about nobody. But Theresa, to be truthful, you didn't know how to move with Nancy Grace because we got to remember who Nancy Grace is. And you know Nancy Grace was going to give you the hammer, Theresa. But then you went in a place where you thought was more comfortable to Chicago Morning Takeover. That mask slipped off, Theresa. And we heard, no, you don't know these kids, but you know their mamas. You know the circles, you know the vibe. But Theresa, what you fail to realize, that wasn't the truth. That was you trying to control the narrative. And Theresa, I had a serious problem with your version of trying to control the narrative, ma'am. Because a lot of things that you said made absolutely no sense. But Theresa, I understand. You're not one to take accountability. You have a serious problem with taking accountability, and it shows. It shows. You went into Nancy Grace and you walked in very guarded. Very guarded. Your energy was a mess. Your voice was low. Your eyes kept drifting. Your posture was tight. But the sad part, it wasn't a grief type of tight. It was a secretive type of tight. Like somebody had rehearsed the events and was terrified that Nancy was going to ask you questions that you wasn't prepared for. And you know, Theresa, the sad part in all of this, your emotions that did not match the severity of the situation. You had no urgency. Diamond, welcome to the chat, my love. Theresa, you had no urgency with Nancy Grace. You sat there like a woman trying to protect yourself, but not your daughter's truth. And that looked bad on your part. And the first major contradiction came out your mouth within a matter of seconds. You couldn't give not one solid timeline. Nancy Grace asked the question, Theresa, where were you? when all of this was going on with your daughter? Theresa, you couldn't give a solid answer. I think I was asleep. I might have just woke up. Oh, I know I was in bed. I called the friend, Theresa, which one is it? Because a trooper parent don't stumble over where they were when the nightmare began. See, that interview right there, it felt like somebody trying to create distance. Like you wanted to be far enough away from the situation to look innocent, but not so far that you looked it neglectful. That type of timeline that you gave is not normal grief behavior, Theresa. That's trying to manage the story. Now, chat. Why y'all thought Theresa couldn't give not one timeline? Because to me, it felt like confusion. Lots of confusion. When Nancy Grace asked Theresa, why didn't the girls call you? Why didn't he call you, Theresa? Theresa answered and said they didn't want to bother me. Bitch, what? Nobody says that when a child goes missing. That answer to me made absolutely no sense. Kids don't avoid calling a loving mother. You heard me, Theresa, loving mother. Kids avoid calling somebody they see as part of the situation, or somebody they think already knows what's going on, or somebody they just don't trust. So which was it, Theresa? Is it that they didn't trust you? Or did they know that you already knew what was going on beforehand? And when you answered, hey, sunshine, welcome, sis. When you answered, Nancy sit there looking shook. You could see it in her eyes like, this woman ain't telling me the damn truth. So, Theresa, what was your involvement, baby? Because why wouldn't those girls call you? Was it fear of, what was it? What was it? Then we go to the hotel timeline. Nancy pressed the hotel timeline. Theresa got weak again. She didn't want to retrace those steps, y'all. She didn't want to say who she talked to, or she didn't want to recall what she saw. She avoided the details because sensory details looks too much like the truth. In that moment, Theresa was avoiding exposing herself. Hey, Lorenzo, welcome, my love. Nancy said, Theresa, well, what you think happened to your daughter? Theresa stayed quiet, like she couldn't answer. And that question alone, bitch, you should have had a flood of emotions. You could have went as far as saying somebody hurt my child. This was not an accident. And she didn't wander off. I know my child. Theresa, you didn't do none of that. Instead, you gave nothing. That ain't normal behavior, girl. That ain't normal behavior. Dr. J, my love, welcome, sis. Tina says Theresa just keeps giving like Christmas. Cool girl sister says, well, as we see, she has 3 different personalities. 3 is all we expose it. Who knows? Theresa is a bag full. A bag full. Ann said, seemed like Theresa only speaking up now is because she ran out of those millions of dollars. Before this, she said nothing. And Ann, you know, that is truly a fact. That's a fact. The Betsy said Nancy Grace is known to be a liar. She's been exposed for lying. Of course. Hip Hop said Kenneka is a case with the million circles. Hip Hop, baby. Baby. Erica Red said, I tried to put myself in her shoes, and I still would never have taken any money over having real justice for my child. This story is wow. Look at what money has done. Look at where money put her. Theresa's a mess. The Betsy said, a theory was that Miss Morton was at Crown Plaza. There's a video of a woman coming out of the bathroom at the party who resembled Miss Morton. It's a lot of theories out here. It's a lot of theories out here. And imagine if Theresa was there. Who concocted the story that, or did Theresa concoct that story? She was in the bed. It's a lot of theories out there. Because listening to Jedediah this morning, one of Kenneka's friends, guy was in the chat, said he was dating her at the time, the boyfriend or whatever, and said when those girls made that call to Theresa to let her know what was going on with Kenneka, the only thing Theresa said at the time was, bring me my car. Now, if somebody's going to call me and tell me that my child is missing, knowing the circumstances, asking for a car would have been the last thing on my lips, because I want to know the what's, the whens, the where's, the whys in the house. Theresa didn't do that. Sean said other friends felt she didn't give a damn, sis, and that's the way I'm looking at it. I believe those friends knew the relationship. I believe those friends knew the history of what was going on with Kenneka and Theresa in that household. I do believe that. I do. Antoine, welcome. Hip Hop said Theresa's an Eastern Star. My grandfather and great-grandfather told my daddy to leave it alone and not accept that invitation for a reason. There's a lot coming out about these Eastern Stars and these Masons. And we hear these stories so many times. These sacrifices. Lorenzo said, MOCA, what gets me is that didn't Theresa say when she got the calls from her friends, didn't she say to them, bring her car back? That's what she said. Carla Henry, welcome, my love. That's what she said. No urgency to find out what happened to her child, but bring me my car. The Betsy said perhaps the party happened at an earlier date. Remember, she called 911. She mentioned a ticket of the 6th. So did this happen on the 6th? That's a good question. Could it have been an earlier date, the Betsy? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But that's interesting. That's interesting. Definitely a shapeshifter. Sean, you're crazy, but you're right. I'd have sued him too, sis. Ann said, Theresa is such a liar. It's a shame our head don't spin around on our shoulders like Linda Blair. Antoine, welcome, my love. Antoine said, what about the white girl that was there? I'm not sure about the white girl, Antoine. I'm not sure. It's so many dots to connect. So many dots to connect, so many unanswered questions, so many trying to figure out who was who, why they were there, and what they know. But the most unfortunate part in all of this, Theresa knows more than Theresa is saying. Samantha says, Theresa, I have just one question for you. What we're missing when you receive the autopsy report for your child's death? Let's just start there. Theresa didn't put much energy on that. Right now, all Theresa wants is weave, clothes, and a cell phone back. Then Theresa goes and she interviews with Chicago Morning Takeover. Theresa was much louder, more detailed, more emotional, and more animated. So all of a sudden, suddenly she remembers everything she forgot on Nancy Grace. Her timeline is so crisp, her storytelling is long as shit, and her emotions are truly high. This is the interview where she slipped. And the only reason she slipped here is because Theresa sat. And she was comfortable. She was comfortable. And being comfortable make a liar very confident. And that's who she was. She changed several stories. So Theresa, I want to know, why were you so emotional there and not in your very first interview? Because Nancy Grace didn't send for you. You went to her. Now, the friends didn't want to bother you, you said. Now the kids lied, they hid everything, and they misled you. Theresa, that's the story you put out here. Theresa, one interview says you said they didn't want to bother me. The next interview you said they were lying. That's two different realities, Theresa. So which the hell is it? And we want to know, why were you trying to rewrite this narrative? What are you trying to hide? Suddenly, you go out here, you have long, detailed memories, down to the expression, down to the conversations in the movement, Theresa. How do you go from I don't remember to let me tell you? Let me tell you everything that happened, minute by minute. All of a sudden, your memory improved. Then you get on FammTV. That's when the real Theresa comes out. This wasn't the national Theresa, the emotional radio Theresa. This was the hood rat Theresa that came out. Here she wasn't polished. She wasn't guarded, and she damn sure didn't have a chance to rehearse nothing. And that's the version she didn't want people to remember of her. Because FammTV caught her real personality. And then she blocked him. D, welcome, sis. She blocked FammTV after the interview because they exposed details that she dropped early on in the beginning of this that contradicts everything that she went back and said later. The early version is always the closest to the truth, and Theresa knows this. She hadn't talked too much. But once she saw how big the case got, Theresa started trying to clean up her story. But what she didn't understand was FammTV had gotten the before version. And Theresa blocked them along the way because she couldn't retract the story. She couldn't edit the story. She couldn't control it. And she didn't want comparisons with the new stories that she was out here trying to tell. So Theresa, if it was all about your daughter and the so-say justice you wanted to seek for her that we never saw of you, and you're supposed to be grieving, why would you block an interview that you're seeking justice? That's very suspicious to me. Very suspicious. When somebody tells the truth, the story stays the same. But Theresa, you out here managing a narrative, and that story falls apart every time. Every single time, Theresa. But you don't walk on Nancy Grace by accident, Theresa. That's not a neighborhood Facebook Live. That's not a random blogger. That's a whole former prosecutor whose job is to sniff out the lies and expose inconsistencies. So when you set your ass across from Nancy, I was expecting a mama with fire in her chest. I was expecting a mama who didn't sleep. Somebody who was shaking with anger, and a mama that was ready to call out name, date, times, and what didn't add up. But Theresa, that wasn't a damn mama you showed. That wasn't a mama you showed. Theresa, in a real world, a real grieving mama, they're going to talk about your baby last hour. She usually talks too much. She overshares. Come on. Theresa, you did none of that. You set your ass there like you was on a job interview. You didn't come there to discover the truth. You went to Nancy Grace to lock in a version of the truth that suited you. That's what you did. Theresa, you screwed up all across the board. Anytime a person's child go missing, you remember these details step for step because that shit is burned in your brain like a brand, Theresa. You remember exactly where you were, who you called, what you were doing, and how your heart dropped. There's no I think, I might, I don't remember. Bitches, you crazy? You might forget what the hell you ate. You might forget what the shit you were wearing, but you don't forget where you were when your whole world supposedly shifted, Theresa. Because now you're trying to calibrate the whole story. You're trying to keep yourself in a safe zone, not to look too involved and not to look negligent. So that I was asleep that you gave Nancy Grace, that was your shield of protection. That I was asleep, to me, it says, I didn't know what was going on. I wasn't at the party. I wasn't at the hotel. I wasn't watching the kids. I'm just an innocent mama who got a phone call. But Theresa, when you said all of that, all you did was added a little extra dressing on it because I laid down. Oh, I think I was waking up. Oh, I called a friend. Bitch, you sound retorted. You trying to make the sorry soft and sympathetic instead of clear and consistent. Theresa. If you truly, truly had nothing to do with anything that led up to that baby girl walking in that hotel, you don't need distance. You be right there in the middle of every detail like I was here. This is what I did. This is who I called. This is how I found out. This is what didn't sit right with me. Theresa, you only play with distance when you're trying to make your hands look cleaner than what they actually are. How many of y'all believe Theresa simply didn't remember? Or was she building herself an alibi with that I was asleep line? Because if it was my child, I could never forget where I was when that call came in. And that I'm sleepy excuse you gave, that shit sounded like a pre-built excuse to me. That's exactly what it sounded like. And it was said that Theresa, her and the daughter was at that party. Jesus. Hip hop said it happened on the 9th. One of my cousins declined going to the party because he's a GD and most of the party was vice law. Oh, shit. So it really was a game. It really was. Wow. Hmm. Hmm. Theresa, you're knee deep in this shit, and that's why you out here deflecting. Antoine said Theresa never really showed a lot of concern to me, and that's just my opinion. And Antoine, we all feel the same way. We all feel the same way because that is not the behavior of a mother. Lorenzo said facts about the early version is usually the real story, and she's trying to hide that. Monifa name is all over this, y'all. Antoine, from what I've seen, from what I know, from what I've heard, from videos I've seen, and it's just my take on this, allegedly. It appeared that these young girls, I don't care how many people want to paint the picture, that these so-called friends of Kenneka knew nothing. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Because when you look at those videos, then you look at the interviews that Theresa had earlier on. Theresa knew too much about these young girls. She knew the circles that they ran in. She knew everything about them that she's trying to now say she didn't know. And from the looks of it, Monifa, the $200, they knew. Listen, they knew. And it appears to me she was set up. She was set up. Theresa knew these young girls. They were in and out of Theresa's home. So the lies that Theresa tells, Theresa needs to let it go. Theresa's going to have a price to pay. One that she ain't ready to pay. But she's going to have a price to pay. Antoine, right there is the beginning of Kenneka being set up. Because I saw one of her live videos, right? And in the background, you could hear Kenneka telling them, I don't even want to be here. I don't want to be here. So she's saying she don't want to be there. In my opinion, it seems like they knew the trap that they were escorting her to. Huh, huh. Imagine that. And said it's so many rumors surrounding baby girl Kenneka, it's hard to believe any of them. And that part. There is the rumor mill. It's the rumor mill, you know? You have to be careful what you take. Because everything ain't credible. And this baby girl deserves so much justice. And Theresa, you're out here crashing out with them three faces, ma'am. And I have so many questions. Because here it is. You collected donations, GoFundMe. And years later, you got this little settlement. And what bothers me more than anything is that it wasn't until this year, in May, that Kenneka finally gets a headstone. I'm confused. People donated from the kindness of their hearts to get justice for this baby. You took the GoFundMe money and you did what? Because 2017 up until now, you mean to tell me it took all this time for y'all to place a headstone? Is it that you didn't want to go visit the cemetery? What were you afraid of? Were you still fighting those demons, ma'am? Hip hop says, okay, no, hip hop was talking to Ann. Sean says, sis, I remember 9/11. That was how many years ago? But we're talking about my child. I don't forget nothing, as you shouldn't, sis. Ann says that I did at first think the friends knew because Kenneka was last with them at that party. I'm glad to know her friends weren't involved, and I do believe. Carla said Theresa was already at that hotel. Sean says, I believe Theresa was drunk and just didn't give a damn. Hey, says Rashina, welcome, boo. Antoine says, Theresa went from, let me highlight that. Because Antoine, that paints a bigger picture. That paints a bigger picture, right? Because Theresa, look at my sister. Thank you, boo. Mocha, I'm here, sis. Excuse my tardiness. You could, my love. Thank you, mama. Antoine says Theresa went from, you bastards killed my baby, to, hey, y'all, they ain't do nothing to her. Antoine, you're absolutely right, my love. You can't make this shit up. So Theresa, make it make sense. So you mean to tell me everybody is threatening you, Theresa? Telling you what to say and what not to say? I don't get it. And want to know if Theresa could still be charged with any crimes regarding Kenneka. She took that money as hush money. That money that Theresa took. See, Theresa's a liar. Let's get this straight. That money that Theresa took and that NDA that she signed, that was not for Theresa to no longer mention her daughter's name. That was so far from the truth. That NDA that Theresa signed, Theresa could no longer, she can't go back and file another lawsuit. That's out the window. The case could never be reopened. That's out the window. Theresa is to never mention that hotel ever again. That's what that NDA was all about. She cannot refile a lawsuit. That case will never be reopened again. And she can no longer harass. That goes for her, her daughter, and her son, because they all got paid to shut the hell up. They could no longer bother these people. So if you sign the NDA to shut your mouth, who's crazy? Them or you? And now you want everybody to hear you out. No, ma'am. This has absolutely nothing to do with Kenneka at this point, Theresa. It has everything to do with your negligence as a mother. Because why would you? Why would you? If you felt something was dirty in the water, why would you take a payout and you still had no justice for your daughter? But now you out here 8 years later looking for weed, looking for clothes, looking for a cell phone that don't exist. Make it make sense, ma'am? So to answer your question, Ann, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. The Betsy says, did she not mention that she was asleep due to the effects of medication? I've never heard her say that. Nowhere. But any and everything is possible with her. Any and everything is possible. This lady's a piece of work. D says and want to keep blaming stuff on her chemotherapy and medication. Nah, she got to stop it. She got to stop it. But right now, she's looking for a way out. Thank you, sister. I just seen the notification. Thank you, boo. She's looking for a way out. Carla Henry said, Theresa is a madam. What is wrong with them being madams, girl? Child, Detroit madams, Chicago madams, baby. The Betsy said something was occurring in room 920 when Kenneka messaged her sister that she was prepared to go. So when Kenneka allegedly messaged her sister, that's the very sister that goes everywhere and does everything with Theresa. So allegedly, Theresa and the sister Lenore were also at the Crown Plaza. This shit is getting wicked and more weirder by the moment. And things that were overlooked and hushed back then is so prevalent today. And the sad part about it all is that Theresa is not smart enough to realize that she done dug a hole for herself that she can't return from. And that is so unfortunate. Ann says Monica and Shemaya has always acted funny around Kenneka, like they were jealous of her deep down. And poor Kenneka had a fight on her hands. This baby struggled in many ways. She had friends that weren't really her friends. They played in her face. She had a mom that only gave birth and wasn't loyal, wasn't caring, wasn't compassionate, and damn sure wasn't kind. And then that baby had to deal with the fact, allegedly, that her mama had a man in the house that tried her over and over and over again. And Theresa did not protect this baby from that man. Antoinette, welcome, my love. Something is wrong. And it all falls back on Theresa. I don't give a damn. It all falls back on her. Hip hop says the friends didn't have nothing to do with this. There's a way bigger bounty on Kenneka. She had information about something. Hear me out. Hip hop, what kind of information could she possibly have had at 18 years old? I'm confused. Information on who? Antoine said them demons is attacking Theresa. She go break real soon. No money, no man, just spiritual demons around her. Antoine, isn't that interesting? You did all of this, right? To your daughter. And I'm pretty sure that young lady Kenneka went to you, Theresa, with this issue of your man. You chose a man over the well-being of your daughter. Daughter gone. You sacrifice your daughter for a couple of dollars. You sign the NDA without getting her the justice that she deserves. All your money gone. And your man is too. So now all you have is the nerves to get on Facebook and rant. And rant. Make it make sense, Theresa. Because them demons ain't finished with you yet, ma'am. Samantha said it looks like a sacrifice to me because it's the same way they were partying while Whitney Houston was unalive. Carla Henry, it took 7 years for that baby to get a headstone. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. The Betsy, this is the most, this is the most elementary shit I've ever heard. It took them 7 years, 8 years to be exact, to get this child a headstone. The Betsy said that that family indicated that they needed to wait for the ground to settle. Well, how much damn settling did the ground have to do? Where they buried her in a swamp? Because I'm confused. That's the most elementary trauma dog, gabapentin sucking shit I ever heard. Because you got to be out of all your mind and lost all your marbles to say some shit like this and think the world is going to believe it. The ground to who? Theresa, whatever you're smoking, throw it away. Throw it away. Because that shit right there, Theresa, that shit right there was classic. Y'all partying, y'all smoking, y'all living it up. The daughter taking trips, going places she's never been before. But you know what's sad? Y'all done got all that money, but y'all still living in the projects. But y'all still waiting for the ground to settle. Shit. Ooh, child. Lorenzo said 8 long years. And that baby just now getting a headstone, Lorenzo. Hey, Aboriginal man. Welcome, boo. Welcome. Yes, guys, please hit the like button for your girl. Carla Henry keeps telling me that Theresa and Lenore was at this Crown Plaza. How do they sleep at night, Carla Henry? How? How? Antoine, I believe that with all my heart. Antoine says, clout is what's keeping Theresa going. Once that's gone, she's going to break. Trust me. Theresa's gone by it all the wrong way. Clout. All she's doing is putting a stain on that child's name in the worst type of way. in the worst type of way. And her name and her dirty hands, Theresa, is all over it. The Betsy says, the family expressed a desire for the resting place of Kenneka to remain undisclosed, citing concerns about potential vandalism. These people can't be serious. Potential vandalism. The world loved Kenneka more than that family could ever. I have a question for the chat. Maybe you all have an answer for me that I'm not privy to. You know, we dissect facts versus rumors here. My sister Kristen has been a member for 9 months. All right, sis. Can anybody in the chat tell me how factual it is that Kenneka has, quote unquote, a twin sister? I've heard that so many times. And I just want to know if there's any relevance to that. Because if this baby has a twin sister, that paints an even bigger picture. Carla Henry said Kenneka was going to be a witness for Andrew Holmes' daughter that got unalived. Is that a fact? So everybody's hearing about the twin sister. I heard that. I wish I knew. And Cornell, hey, boo, welcome. Wow, Carla Henry. So she was going to be a witness. Wow. So I have a question. You see, I'm concerned about the twin sister, if there's truly one. And that's why I said we have to be mindful of these theories that's being thrown out here, right? Because the word that I got is that the twin sister is from the daddy's side, from Kenneka's father's side, allegedly. And that's why we have to be mindful of what we repeat. Because if the twin sister comes from the daddy's side, then that means there's no way, no how Kenneka could be Theresa's biological child. Y'all see where I'm going with this? If she had a twin sister, Rashina just said something that makes a whole lot of sense. She is an Irish twin, which means she is not a twin. They're 11 months apart. I could believe. That I could believe. So the Irish twin, so it's not twin. Somebody, because they look alike. I saw a video. So it's not a twin. So that's a sister from the father's bloodline. Okay, I get it now. See, that's how you break down the story. Can't you run with the narrative she had a twin, because now it raises a whole different level of questions. Because how the hell you got a twin sister and you living with slow ass Theresa and the other one with the dad? We have to break it down. Because all we want to know is what really happened. want to know what really happened and why was Theresa and Lenore at the Crown Plaza? See, they're out here saying certain things, but they're not implicating themselves in the truth. Antoine says, if she come out now, she'll be exposing that she broke. Give it a minute. She'll tell it all. Just watch. Just watch. Look, her behavior, her actions are saying a lot about her being broke. Carla Henry says Theresa knows what she's doing. She comes on live about every 3 months ranting. She's being a distraction and them demons is tearing her ass up. That's it and that's all. That's it and that's all. And I agree with that because in videos of Kenneka earlier, before they wiped her page and all of this stuff, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, the videos and the pictures that this baby had, they were with everybody except for Theresa and Lenore. So all this shit that Lenore got going on about her sister, you were not close with your sister. But you should forever mention her name now because you reaped benefits off of her death. I don't know how none of them sleep at night. Lenore is still in the projects, taking trip to Cabo, going here and going there, posting pictures in clothes that she would have never been able to afford, all at the expense of Kenneka. They will forever be haunted. At the end of the day, Theresa failed Kenneka. I don't give a damn how you slice this cake. Because ain't no mama. None. It could be I don't give a damn. There are bad mamas in this world. But there are still mothers. I don't give a damn when I can't provide for my children. I still have a motherly instinct. And that is to nurture, love, and care for mine. Theresa took the opposite road. The opposite road. And she did it with anger and malice. Antoine says Monifa ain't attractive. So she do other things to fit in, to be noticed. And setting Kenneka up was one thing. To make her popular in a weird way. She looks like a monkey. If we're going to be politically correct. Look at my sis. Thank you, boo. Hey, to heal her. Happy Sunday, my love. My sister says she broke. And God is giving her her rap. Definitely she's broke. Monifa. She's another one. She is another one. She's another one. And it's a shame because if Theresa want to be politically correct, Theresa will set the record straight and live in her truth and rehash the whole timeline because Theresa, it started in your home. and it manifested from there. It manifested from the way you live, the way you ran your home. Theresa, everybody that got close to trying to do the right thing, trying to find justice for this baby, you fell out with them, Theresa, because you had a motive. And the motive was you did not want them to uncover your dirt. You did not want them to see how dirty your hands were in all of this. And Theresa, I believe that the bigger picture in all of this, you didn't want to be involved. You didn't want them to see your involvement. You didn't want them to see your daughter's involvement. And you don't want the world to find out how closely connected you are to all of this, Theresa. Because it blows my mind. It blows my mind that the same threats that Jedediah got, that Jedediah is now getting, are the same threats that Zach got. And allegedly it's been said that Theresa is the one making these calls. So Theresa, you need to get it together, sister, because you're truly spiraling out of control. Theresa didn't do that. Aboriginal man. He says, right, because a mother's supposed to protect. And it seems like Theresa did none of the sort. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Theresa didn't think her daughter would get this much notoriety. She thought this shit was going to happen and it would go away as fast as it started. But what she failed to realize, it was people in this world that cared just a little more than she did. She didn't expect this. She know the role that she played. She know the part that she played. She know them little ugly fingers ain't clean. That's why she didn't mind signing an NDA and coming out lying to America about they locked you up in a room and held you hostage. Theresa, stop smoking. Theresa smoking and drinking jailhouse hooch. Stop it, ma'am. Because you can't blame that on your cancer medication. Sick of you hoes lying on cancer and out here doing the most. Because, baby, if you got cancer, I'm going to tell you something. If cancer is your ailment, you will be on your knees going to God in every situation. And that cancer should have humbled your ass to want to do what's right for your child. But instead, you're riding a wave, doing what you want to do so you can miss me with the cancer. Miss me with it. Because all you hoes with these cancer stories, it's time to stop. Y'all making those that really have this medical issue going on, y'all making them look like they're scamming just like y'all. Y'all got to stop this with these games y'all playing. Samantha said it was sad that her father and brother was heavy in the game and something happened in their backyard that Kenneka witnessed. Not sure, but I heard that too. Samantha, there's so many theories out here. so many theories out here. Elias Stewart, welcome to the chat, my love. Theresa did have breast cancer when this happened, though. But she should have humbled herself and accepted the fact that she had it. Anytime you're going through a sickness such as that, that ain't something you take lightly. I don't believe shit Theresa say. Nothing. D said she would go live and be talking completely out of her head, trying to be thou holy. But everything she said didn't make sense. Nothing Theresa says makes sense. Absolutely. St. Louis, I see you, boo. And my thing is, Theresa could have had all the breast cancer she want, right? Bitch, go get your treatment. Let them cut your titty off and move on. There are many survivors out here. But they don't lose morals. They don't lose values, and they don't stop being a mother. So, Theresa, what's your excuse? Thank you, sis. My sister said, MOCA speak fact. People out here saying they got cancer, and we got family members dying every day. That part. That part, sis. Shit. Nah, Theresa. No, 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 no. My sister said it was a sacrifice. They want to harvest her organs. Her mother was on the setup. I'm just saying. How unfortunate. Organ harvesting. You ain't on the setup allegedly, Theresa. Theresa, you wanted to harvest organs? You should have gave them one of your titties. Around here telling the world you had breast cancer. Why not sacrifice you? What did this baby do to deserve what she got? She didn't have a fighting chance. Kristen, I wasn't in your medicine cabinet, boo. Not me. Ann says, was it true that Kenneka was targeted because she witnessed the pow at a liquor store? This story was going around for a while on YouTube, girl. There's so many stories. Hey, Travis, welcome, boo. It's been a minute. I hope all is well. Antoinette said, I thought she had got money from that hotel. In a lawsuit, she did, girl, and broke. Broke. Guys, if you don't mind, please hit that like button for your girl. The Betsy said, I was under the impression they relocated subsequent to the settlement, as there were rumors of a move to Indiana. Well, if they moved to Indiana, the Betsy, girl, they must have found another project similar to where they come from. Because even money did not change how they live. All they did was bought clothes and cars. Shit. And Theresa still. But my question, Theresa, where you at, girl? Because that kind of money, Theresa. Why, in the name of big Jesus, Theresa? Theresa, you got played all across the board. And this is MOCA talking to you right now. $3.7 million. And you did what with it? You did what? Because Theresa, you're out here today looking like the same Theresa you looked like back then. You know, we have to pay attention to the writings on the walls. And Theresa has been writing on the wall for quite some time now, guys. When Theresa said she was going to be a millionaire, y'all never picked that up as being a sign of something's going down? And she spoke that into existence. Right before this happened. See, sometimes people can't hold water in their chest. Exactly, Antoine. All her interviews tell something different. It ain't but one truth. And Theresa don't know it. She don't know it. Cornell said, Theresa, you out here looking goofy. Sean says, with all that money, she could have moved Kenneka to a mausoleum since she was so worried. But girl, what took me out, sis? Word on the curb is Theresa didn't get a headstone for this baby because she was waiting for the ground to settle. Girl, I'm in Louisiana in bayou country. Swamps, bayous, lakes, everywhere. Marshland. Girl, and you talking about you waiting for the ground to settle? Where the hell you at? Where the hell did you bury her? Or did you really bury her? Huh. Make it make sense. The Betsy said, okay, we was talking about the twin sister. Okay, I'm far behind. Far behind. Let me catch up. Gotta make sense, y'all. It gotta make sense. Cornell said Theresa knows exactly what happened to her baby. Cornell, you better know she knows. She knows. And I know she's struggling every night. That's why she look like she's high all the time. That's why her eyes popping out her damn head. Thank you, sis. Carla Henry said MOCA, they might be talking about it's a Kenneka Martin and a Kenneka Jenkins, but they're not related. Now listen. Let me highlight that. Carla Henry. That's some of Theresa's doing. Theresa's trying to confuse the people, right? And I want you to follow me, Carla Henry. Theresa started coming out here, and now she's addressing Kenneka as Kenneka Martin. Not Kenneka Jenkins, Kenneka Martin. That's not two different people. From what I know about Kenneka, Kenneka was not accepted. And it could have been because of her upbringing. So she latched on to people to feel like she was a part of something, to go along, to get along. And she always found herself in bad company. And Cornell, I'm with you. She never gave a damn. Never gave a damn about that baby. Carla Henry says, wait a minute. Carla, we can't have two Kennekas being unalived in the same night. See, that's where we got to start making this make sense. Carla says, Kenneka Martin is the girl that was at the party also that they said got unalived. I'm going to believe that when I see it. I ain't found no proof on that yet. So, that's why I said we have to be careful how we run with what we hear, because that can't be a Kenneka Jenkins and a Kenneka Martin, both unalived in that hotel that night. And we got crazy ass Theresa running through here, calling her child Kenneka Martin too. Y'all playing Theresa playing in everybody's face. And she's only playing because y'all letting her play. Theresa gonna have to answer. Ann says, I thought they were one and the same too. Me too, girl. Carla Henry says, so much of this case, some YouTubers stayed on this case from 2017 up until now. It's a lot. It's a lot. The Betsy says she has an older half sister. She goes by Kenneka Jenkins. She changed her name. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's the Kenny on the daddy side. That's the Kenny. And them BBLs, she need to go trade them BBLs in. Because no, baby, no. 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 This is crazy. Let me grab these comments. Baby, I'm so far behind. Rashida says, MOCA, the manager of the hotel has family members that has a funeral home. And they were charged for harvesting organs. Yes, ma'am, I heard that. It's a whole lot of shit going on. And if the right people were involved with uncovering what really happened to Kenneka all these years ago, if they would have let, in my opinion, if they'd allowed Jedediah to keep doing what he was doing, along with the other activists that was seeking justice, this shit would have been nipped in the bud long time ago. But Theresa had a stake in this, in my opinion. And the way she moved, the way she allowed these interviews to happen, the things that she said, I do believe that she's having the misery in her life at this very moment, because all these years she's been protecting somebody. And I'm waiting on the moment for Theresa to woman up if not for her damn self, but for the sake of her child, and put all this shit to an end. Woman up and say who the hell you're protecting and why you're protecting them. Even if it means, bitch, implicating your damn self. Because as a mother, a decent mother, a loving mother, a mother will lay her life down for her child. But you ain't that mother. You chose a whole different route. But you're going to suffer on this earth because you're still protecting somebody or something. And eventually it's going to come out. It will eventually come out, whether you like it or not. God is going to force it out of you. You think you out here ranting, talking all out of your head. You ain't seen nothing yet, ma'am. Because whoever it is you're protecting really don't give a damn about you. Because if they did, this shit would have never gotten as far as it has. Because Cornell says, right, she should have invested in some businesses and flipped that money. But I guess she's too slow to do that. Cornell, you must know her. Cornell, I can't stand you. Cornell said she need to get them drawn on eyebrows fixed. Oh, Jesus. Lorenzo said, hold up. Every October is breast cancer month. Why they never had her as a breast cancer survivor? You see how shit comes out? We got to make it make sense. Theresa lies about so much, you don't know what to believe and what not to believe when it comes to her. Miss Antoinette, you got that right. Miss Antoinette said she didn't know how to spend 1 million, letting on 3. Can't count. $3 million. Right, sis? She said, those of y'all that I really love will know when I get rich. When that lady said that, it was all over for me. It was all over for me. But Theresa, you got to make us understand why you're out here doing what you're doing now, girl. You've been gone. Long as you had that money, nobody heard from you. Then suddenly you come back louder than before. No money, no attention. Why now? Why this year? Why this moment? And I believe it's a combination of, bitch, you done lost your identity. For 8 years, people saw you as the mother of Kenneka Jenkins. That identity alone brought you attention. It brought you sympathy. It gave you visibility. It gave you a community that rallied around you. It gave you a cause and it gave you support. So when the case faded, so did your identity. So did your identity. The same identity that made you relevant at one time. So, in my opinion, some people come back to social media when they feel themselves fading out. And I think that's what happened to you. Trauma. You're traumatized, girl, about what you done to your damn self. See, attention can create a cycle where a person feels seen only when they're online. So the chaos, the rants, the drama, all of that to you is a coping mechanism because you don't know how to deal with the ass whipping you're getting. Cornell ain't shit. Theresa, Cornell said your eyebrows fading this well. Shit. Then you sitting up here, Theresa, and you dealing with unresolved trauma. You're angry. You're projected. You're paranoid. You got these spiritual ass delusions. You're obsessed. You're around here, you're overreacting. You got these loud ass outbursts and ain't saying shit. The sad part about it is you only do that is when you're surrounded by these enablers, those that force your dumb ass to take that settlement. It's a shame. GoFundMe's, the settlement, the donation, the funds people speculating out here about. Money runs out, Theresa, but the bills don't. So now you out here trying to get Facebook to give you a little few coins. So you don't mind coming out here day after day after day with that bullshit. And you don't mind being in a dysfunctional space. I wouldn't want that type of spotlight, ma'am. I wouldn't. You need to get it together, Theresa. Just like Jedediah. You out here attacking this man. And I know why you're doing it. Only because Jedediah represents the one thing you never had full control over. And that was a voice. And he wasn't afraid of you. Because back then, Jedediah, whether people liked him or not, he challenged the narrative. He questioned the timeline. He mobilized people. And he wasn't scared to say what didn't make sense. And now here we are years later. You see him back in the spotlight again, Theresa. And that threatens whatever version of events that you've been clinging on to. Isn't that sad? And the thing is, I believe that Jedediah reminds you of the original public scrutiny. You know? I believe he reminds you of the time period where every contradiction was being exposed. Where the internet was holding you accountable, Theresa, and he's a symbol of the heat that you can't escape, boo. Jedediah has his own platform, Theresa, and you can't solace him no more. So instead of accepting the fact that you can't solace him, you come out here trying to discredit that man. And you know, Theresa, you fit the bill because some people, they attack whoever triggers their guilt, shame, or unresolved emotions. You're very guilty of inconsistent narratives, ma'am. And Jedediah saw that in you before the world quieted down. Stop it. Just stop. You need to get it together, ma'am. The story is fading. The sympathy is fading. Your money is gone. Your attention is drying up. Jedediah didn't spark the conversation again. People is questioning your ass again. And believe it or not, Theresa, whether you want to admit it or not, your identity is tied to Kenneka's tragedy. And until this day, 8 years later, you never stopped trying to control the narrative. And if you were truly trying to move forward, get the right answers and heal, you wouldn't come back on social media performing. You wouldn't come back looking for a war. And if you found closure, really found closure, and you're happy with the skin that you're in, you wouldn't be digging up the past when the attention fades. Bitch, you ain't came back because you stopped grieving. You never grieved, let's be honest and let's be clear. You came back because the internet stopped giving you attention. That's it. And that's all. The lies you tell, ma'am. You had forever and a day to get this together. And you still out here looking dumb as shit. Antoinette said that conscience whipping her ass, and it is. Essie, good night, my love. Ann says, Theresa doesn't like the Harris family. Got money off of that child's name death. It's a shame. It's a shame. Them demons is tearing her ass up. D said it's just like after a funeral. 1 week's top. Folks don't check on us anymore. That part. But D, the fact that she done set her ass there. And had the public all involved. We're giving her this big circus, this big side show for public attention to bury her child. And bitch, you collected all of this money. And 8 years later, this child just getting a headstone. I'm all done. Antoine says she would never keep any more money. Carmen's going to take it away every time and every time. Samantha says even if she blew the $3 million, she should have something to show for it. Unless she's smoking that King Kong, she got to be smoking more than King Kong, boo. She got to be in the whole jungle. Because there's no way. No damn way. Ann said Theresa thought once she got that money and people stopped talking about Kenneka, she thought she could clear her conscience. But this will never happen. Long lives Kenneka. That part, Cornell, she had the whole world rallying around her, behind her, and she settled for a few dollars. And right now, she's willing to do whatever. She's willing to do whatever. But guys, just know Theresa's a piece of work. Theresa will never have rest. Her soul is going to forever be weary until she owns the role that she played. And she chooses to live in her truth and tell the world. And she don't owe us nothing. But she owes it to Kenneka. She owes it to Kenneka to let that baby know why. Who am I protecting? Who have I protected all of these years, and why did I protect them? That's who she owes an answer to. Anne said, Theresa learning now. She could forget, but we won't. She's broke, and Kenneka is forever with us, and is. D, my girl, gotta be smoking the jungle, because King Kong ain't gonna do that shit by itself. She got all the weeds, all the trees. This is insane. This is truly insane. But Theresa, as a parent, you failed miserably. And the world don't stop because of your misery. But those of us that care, all day, every day, it will continue being justice for Kenneka. Because it's unfortunate. All the answers are in your hands. You know the what's, the where's, the when's, and the why's. Your baby still don't have the justice that she deserves. You got to remember, God is a man that he just don't sleep, nor do he slumber. And no matter who was involved, every day there's a price to pay. And Kenneka, it shows by the way you come online doing what you do. Kenneka is tearing your ass up from the inside out. And you should be ashamed. Guys, if you don't mind, could you please hit that like button for your girl? I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. Thank you, Ann. Theresa, if you didn't do better back then, the least you could do is do better today. These stories is unfortunate, and it's so sad that it have to take years and years and years and years. And the truth is being hidden by those that supposedly are those that claim they love them the most. Thank you, Cornell, because I do. And it's always those that claim they love you the most that sits on all the deep, dark secrets and their involvement. They feel it will continue to be hidden, but it won't. Tootie said that mom is going to jail. It's breaking news. Tootie, Tootie, Tootie. My girl said that mom is going to jail. It's breaking news. I don't mean to put other CC's channel, but it's on Cold Peach channel with now the real Kenneka name is Antonio Evans. What? Theresa is sad. Theresa is spiraling out of control. Theresa knows the role that she played. No love, no empathy for her own child. How do you honor your child at a time like this? with cheap ass clothes, trips, and weed. I don't get it. I don't get it. But we're going to leave Theresa where she is right now. We're going to let her sit right there. And we'll be back tomorrow, same time, pulling something else to the forefront. Because this story don't end. Not here, it can't. Theresa has to own her shit. And those so-called friends, those that still here, they need to own their shit. Because everybody had a role to play. And they all failed Kenneka miserably. Each and every one of them failed her miserably. The Betsy says, does anyone remember the guy in a blue shirt who was at the party, who went live on Facebook? I don't remember the Betsy. But by the time I get back tomorrow, I'm sure I'll have it. But right off, I don't remember. There are layers to this. Deep, dark layers that they don't want us to know about. Hey, Yo-Yo, welcome, my love. Yo-Yo said that guilt is eating her ass alive right now. And it shows. It shows. It shows. The Betsy said he had a sister who became a stud. She was murdered and rumors was Kenny was involved, and that's why. Oh, wow. See, it's a lot. But I'm going to find out who was that in the blue shirt. And the sad part about it, that family knows. That family knows. Love you more, sis Rashina. That family knows. My girl D said, I do. The Betsy said his father did construction. Believe he had done work at Crown Plaza. Hey, Blessed Beyond Mess. Welcome. Blessed Beyond Mess says she may have signed an NDA to not tell the truth. But Kenneka blood is crying from the ground. NDA really means not dead anymore. Her daughter is speaking to all of us to tell her story, and I believe that, baby. I believe that. Kenneka's not resting well. Her spirit is disturbed, and she's angry at the very people that call themselves family. Cornell, Kenneka got a headstone a couple of months ago. Isn't that sad? She got one a couple of months ago. Because according to her mama, 8 years later, she was waiting for the ground to settle. This is so unfortunate. So unfortunate. And it's sad that we have to be here in this space. Yo-Yo said Jedediah was made the scapegoat in all of her bullshit. Talk your shit, girl. I believe that. Jedediah was made the scapegoat in all of her bullshit. And I believe she did it on purpose. Listen, I believe she needed an outlet at the time. And she used him. Andrew Holmes is a snake. And his day's coming too. Hmm. Yo. See, this is why these conversations need to be had. Because you know what I love about us, whether it's my chat, somebody else's chat, everybody's chat. We're a group of intelligent people, very, very intelligent. And if everybody just slow it down and put all the pieces to the puzzle together, this case could be blown wide open. Because the writing is on the wall. It's just a matter of piecing it together the way it should be pieced. Theresa done damn near told on herself. Those interviews she did was very telling. Those friends and those videos they made, they told on themselves. You just got to piece it together. Everybody that spoke said something that meant something. You just have to put it together. And it's a shame that these babies, their memory, have to be wrapped and covered in demonic dark spaces. They deserve so much better. But guys, we're going to leave Theresa right where Theresa is. MOCA's going to say goodnight. But my girl said MOCA only need 2 more likes. And if you guys could be so kind and give MOCA 2 more likes for the night, we will be forever grateful. But MOCA's going to say, I love you all. I'm going to say goodnight. Beautiful soul, welcome, sis. We about to roll up out of here. I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to say God bless you all. Set your notifications. Because we have some more things to talk about. And what better time to talk about it than tomorrow night? Same place, same time. I think we could put this together the right way. And maybe this week, the incoming week, because everybody has an opinion. And I respect that. I respect that because it's not that MOCA knows more than you and you know more than MOCA and you know more than the next person. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a round table discussion. We're going to have a family gathering. How about that? We're going to have an open panel. And MOCA's going to give you all an opportunity to come here and sit up there and chop it up with me and tell me your take on this. Together we could do this. So good night, sunshine. Love you, sis. So in the meantime, in between time, let's keep Kenneka name alive. Since Theresa had to wait for the ground to settle, we're going to keep shaking the earth. Keep Kenneka's name alive. The more you keep her name alive, the more the devil gets mad. And the more you anger the devil, then maybe Theresa going to start talking. So on that note, look at my sis. Thank you, sis. Y'all better give MOCA those likes. So guys, drop some purple hearts in the chat if you must. Long live Kenneka. She has a story to tell, and it ain't over. It don't stop here. It don't stop here. I'll say good night. God bless you all. It's been a pleasure, and we'll be back tomorrow doing the same thing at the same time.
We stand tall, we rise as one. No lapels, the work ain't done. No. Motivated from the heart, never run. Truth and caring, everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. Team full of truth and a chat full of cheer. MOCA in the seat, steady steering the ship. Every topic got depth, every comment got grip. We don't tear folks down, we just build them up. If you're moving off love, then you one of us. No the pride in the room and the vibe so loud. Every bell in the chat gon' rep that crowd. We stand tall. In mind, we protect what's right and we hold that line. It's the chat where the truth and the love collide, where the voices don't hide and the pain gets light. We see you, we feel you, we fight for the cause. Every kid, every tear, we break down walls. When you hear that bell, that's the call to act. We family now, and that's just facts. We stand tall, we rise as one. No lapels, the work ain't done. No leading from the heart, never run. Truth and care, everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This one's for every voice we fight for and every child who needs to be heard. We see you, we feel you. We stand with the truth. This is the Nola Bells. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. Stand tall. Join the family.
Good night, everyone. God bless you.